All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Beef Up Front podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Coyle. And today I'm joined by Temple University linebacker Isaiah Graham-Mobley. Isaiah, how are we doing?
Good. How you doing, Ryan? Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So just with everything going on in the world, we'll get started with the first question I've been asking a lot of the people I've been talking to. How's everything been going in regards to training and kind of staying in shape while you're at home and away from the program?
Yeah, it's definitely challenging, but we were able to grab some weights from the weight room and have a bar. So we just put in one of my boys' backyards, and we kind of just work with what we got. We got a bunch of bands that we're able to use that for like resistance and whatnot, and then you can really run anywhere. Just stay away from
Yeah.
people. It's more like self motivation at this point because you don't have the coaches pushing you and everyone's not in the right environment. So that's basically the main part, just like having a bunch of self motivation.
Yeah, because so do they have you guys on like a program, like a regimen, or is it kind of just stuff that you've been taught and you're doing on your own?
So I mean, we have a regimen, but we always try to like incorporate, just do like 1% more. So we'll do the program list and the program runs, but then just add a little bit more into it, just to get 1% better each time.
Because I know just following like Temple football on social media and stuff, like over the years, a big thing for them has always been the weight room and stuff. They're always posting about it on social media. It seems like everyone's like involved and a lot of energy. Is it kind of weird and kind of like sucks to not be there for kind of your last off season?
Yeah, definitely. But it's special in a way. We're still able to bond over Skype and different tools like Zoom. So even though we're far apart, I feel as though we're still coming together as one. And this we'll come out of this stronger because adversity just builds
Yeah.
tough in the end.
Yeah. So kind of going off what you said about kind of adversity, were you able to watch The Last Dance?
I was, yeah.
Yeah, so there's we saw kind of what Jordan went through with the Bulls at the beginning and like adversity. What's something like that you felt you learned about kind of watching The Last Dance and that you can carry over to the football field this upcoming season?
Yeah, it was incredible. I was sad that it was over and there wasn't like more. But just learning from, I mean, we weren't even alive during his era, so we weren't really able to watch him play. But like
Mm-hmm.
having that film and at us being able to like relive it through the documentary was really sweet. Just learning to have like a bunch, like the more you work on your craft, the better you're gonna be. So the skill comes with it, but the more self-confidence that you have, and Michael Jordan had, his self-confidence was through the roof, and all he did was work. So just seeing if you believe in yourself and you believe in the guys around you, anything is possible. You could become the greatest, you could become the best no matter
Yeah.
how hard. So that was one thing that I took out of it, just perseverance and understanding that even though, like, even if for this situation a lot of things aren't going to go your way, as long as you keep pushing and you keep fighting and you keep your head held high, you're gonna persevere through no matter what.
Yeah, and one of the things I kind of took was just his leadership as well. I thought it was crazy how he kind of with the whole Dennis Rodman thing where he was able to go drag him out of Las Vegas. It was kind of, I feel like if anyone else would have went out there, they would have just laughed it off, but
Yeah.
Jordan was able to get him back. That was
Mm-hmm.
that was definitely one of the crazier stories I've ever heard when it comes to sports. But so coming out of high school, you went to Upper Merion, which is in King of Prussia, which is kind of right outside the Philadelphia area. So like, what led you to committing to Temple, and what's it like to be able to play in front of friends and family down at the link on Saturdays?
Yeah, it's definitely nice to be close to home. It gives everyone around me easier access to come see the games. That's definitely one thing that was a factor into where I wanted to go to college. Yeah, being from Marion, it kind of gives everyone from that area some light that no matter where you come out of, you can go anywhere you want. That's just how it is. And so that was really cool to just like kind of put Upper Marion on the map a little bit. And then coming to Temple was a dream come true to give me everything that I wanted, and then if not more. So I couldn't ask for a better university to have come to. the things that I've accomplished and still have yet to accomplish here. And then hopefully a brighter future.
Yeah, you've definitely been part of. I mean, Temple football for a long time was on the downfall, was having bad seasons for the program. But over this past decade, they've really established themselves, and you've definitely been a big part of that in these recent years. But kind of speaking about the team more, have you guys been having like a lot of team meetings where I know I see on social media and stuff with like the pros, they've been having like guest speakers, kind of just talks to check in. Like I play D3 basketball. We have one every week where it's kind of just checking in, making sure everything's all right. But have you guys at the higher level been able to talk like defense and stuff like that?
Yeah, for sure. We've been able to communicate with our coaches. The only thing that got involved was just academics in terms of like finals and stuff. So we have like a period of time where we're not able to have contact with coaches. But that was the only time that we weren't in contact with them. I mean, they're always checking up, always wondering how we are.
Yeah.
And once they check in, they're like, yeah, you want to get a meeting in, so why not?
Yeah. It's always good just to kind of keep the relationship going. And it sounds like the Temple guys are definitely big with their relationships and staying close with their players. But as we kind of progress to talking more about the season, week one, you guys are as of right now with everything going on, you're still scheduled to travel down to Miami to play the U in week one. Can you describe kind of what your excitement and your feelings are towards that game for the first game of your final season?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking into it for it to be a hostile environment. It's just going to be another Florida team that we're going to have to fight with. It's going to be a great time, great atmosphere. I know a bunch of people from here are going to fly down to Miami, so it's just going to be incredible to play in front of them, and then especially for the last season, go out with a bang.
Yeah, that would be a special way because I mean they are another program where recent years they haven't been as what they kind of were throughout history, but I think they're kind of on the rise, and that would be a very sweet victory to start off the year for you guys and definitely make a lot of noise around the nation. But so as we were talking about, that's a big non-conference game. Another big non-conference game you have this year is at home against Rutgers. Coach Greg Schiano's back. He was the coach who led them to national success before going to the NFL, and ever since he left, Rutgers has been kind of on the downfall and been a bad program, but he's definitely going to turn them around again, I think. And it always seems like you guys at home, especially like last year, you beat Maryland and you beat Georgia Tech. You guys have a winning streak against these Power 5 conference teams at home. Can you just describe like what goes into that and how we're going to be looking at that when it comes to the home game versus Rutgers this year?
Yeah, we always treat every game like it's any other game. We're not going to get too high, get too low. So we kind of try to stay melatonin and really in the middle. Just stay true to our game plan, stay true to who we know, how we are, and how we know how to play, which is just hard, tough-nosed football, man. And when we're at home, we don't want to let our home crowd down. So we're not only playing for ourselves, we're playing for our home field advantage, and you got to take advantage of that as much as you can.
Were you on the roster when it was the college football game day against Notre Dame? Was that like your redshirt freshman year?
Nah, that was a year before we went to play.
Because I was down at that game, and that was that's like the only like real like I mean I've been to a few of your guys' games, but that was like a sellout crowd. That was really cool. If you guys can continue to build that, I mean I feel like with a win against Miami, then next week you play Idaho, I believe is your second game. That Rutgers game could be seeing a pretty big crowd, so that would be cool to kind of see. But last year you were awarded number 8, and that's a huge honor at Temple because of the whole Temple Tough mantra. They give the toughest players on the team the single-digit numbers, and so you were one of those 9 players. Can you describe what that was like and kind of how you got there?
Yeah, I mean, so this journey had to start since my freshman year because I haven't done anything but put in relentless work for 3-4 different coaches this my 5 years here now. So I mean it kind of just shows how my work has carried over from staff to staff. I didn't let off the pedal no matter what, and just understood and saw what the guys before me did in order to get it, and just, waited my turn. And then when the opportunity presented itself, there was no looking back. So once I was rewarded it, I was actually pretty surprised. But I mean, all the work that I've put in, I was just, it was something that it was on my goal sheet. So I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I get to check off my redshirt junior year. So I got 2 years under my belt with it, this upcoming season too. So I mean, it was a great honor. And then, my dad wore 8. So then me being able to wear 8 in high school and then also be able to carry it on through college, and then it being such a high stature here at Temple and being able to be in the history books, it's something special.
Was Matakevich 8 as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's probably the best linebacker in school history.
Right.
He won the best linebacker in the country award, I believe, his senior year. So, giving a number like that to you, that's just a testament to your hard work. And like you were saying, with new coaching staff, no, they're not playing favorites or anything. They can't be saying that. So it definitely shows that you've been a hard worker and kind of a leader for that program. And with the evolving coaches, like you said, a leader like you needs to step up, and that's definitely going to be big as you head into your second year under your new coach. But like I was saying with Matakevich, there's Sean Bradley got drafted by the Eagles this year. Kind of Temple's been very good, especially with linebackers over the past 5 years when it comes to sending players to the NFL from like the non-Power 5 conference teams. I believe they're up there in like the top 3. So what do you feel like you need to do this upcoming season, whether it's on defense, whether it's on special teams, just to get your name into that draft discussion and hopefully find a home in the NFL in next year's draft?
Yeah. Being able to be a super versatile player. So that means, just because you're a single digit doesn't mean you get any other privileges. So I'm trying to stay on all special teams. I'm trying to, work my way up the ranks again and solidify positions on those. So, we could teach the young guys in the future how that position is going to be played. And then with that, I just learned from the guys in front of me, like you said, Sean Bradley, Chappelle Russell, also on the Buccaneers now. They took me under their wing because I was originally a safety. So moving linebacker coming into college, they really took me under their wing, and being able to play with them, I wouldn't even see playing under them because we were all playing together. So playing with them, it was just it was an honor to be able to learn from them, and we were all just add into how the linebackers were. So everybody has like their own versatile, like everyone's versatile in the field, but we all worked together and it was a cohesive group. It was really special to be a part of. But yeah, being versatile and being on special teams and being able to know the linebacker core to a T and understanding defenses and offenses and the different openings on the field is something that coaches look for a lot. So, try to stick with that this upcoming season.
Yeah, it sounds like you know what you're doing. It seems like you're very knowledgeable and stuff. I remember playing against you in high school in football, or I wasn't playing, I was on the sidelines, but it was you were a receiver, you were safety, like they put you at quarterback, like so you've been all over the field. You kind of know like all the parts of the game, and as the quarterback of the defense playing linebacker, that's like a big advantage. And I think that's something that a lot of teams and front offices find attractive, where they see this kid played all over the field. Like I was looking before we did this, I was looking up some of your stats and stuff. It said like I think last season or 2 seasons ago you had like a return touchdown as well, right?
A kickoff, yeah.
Yeah, so kind of you see you can do it all, and that's definitely the more you can do the better, not just in football but in life. But going into your senior season, what's the outlook for Temple football, and what should the fans be expecting this year?
Man, it's going to be an exciting season. We got a bunch of really good games coming up. We're going to, work however we can in order, like throughout this quarantine process. We're still going to act as if our game is going to be on September 8th. We're not going to treat it any differently. We're going to continue to work and just, shock the world as usual.
Yeah, that has definitely been the calling card where with you guys, where teams coming to the link or you guys going on the road and you're beating ranked opponents. Last year was Maryland ranked when you beat them? I know they were they had a very hot start to the year. Yeah, Memphis beat them, right? They were ranked. So just over the years, you guys have been so competitive and beating all these good teams. Is if you can just find a way to get some of those early big wins and carry it into conference play, it could be a special season for you guys, I think.
For sure.
All right, so that was kind of like our interview segment. We're going to move on to some more fun questions, kind of personal stuff. So if you could intercept one QB in NFL or college history, who would it be?
Anybody in history. Personally, for me, I think it would probably be Drew Brees. He's somebody that was underlooked, and the way that he scans the field and is able to control his offense is insane. And that would be crazy if I could crib one against Brees.
Yeah, that's definitely a good one. Most passing yards, most passing touchdowns in NFL history. There's not really a guy you could pick better than that. But thinking post graduation, post this last season, if you decide or the NFL path isn't for you, what's kind of your major and what would you want to pursue as for your career?
Yeah. Oh, sweet. I'm a media studies and production major.
Okay.
So I edit, graphic design, photos, videography. So I try to do a little bit of everything. My past internship I just had was with Temple, and I was doing photography and videography and live cuts for the men's basketball games and whatnot. So that was really sweet to be exposed to. Sadly, it was canceled, but I'm hoping try to get into all that. Try to get an internship this upcoming summer, but opportunities are looking pretty slim right now. But editing and photography is what I like to get into.
Yeah, it's cool staying in the sports too.
For sure, yeah.
So who would you label as the greatest football player ever? Pick one on offense and one on defense.
For me, I'm a really big LT fan. LaDainian Tomlinson's who I fell in love with the Chargers. Amazing player to watch, just destroy people. And defense, personally, Ray Lewis in his prime was unstoppable. That man was ridiculous. And if I had to, watch somebody and idol somebody at the linebacker position, it would definitely be him. I'll probably never get to his size, but if I could play the way that he did, that'd be incredible.
Yeah, the energy and effort. I mean, it's kind of what you were saying. You just got to put on about another 25 pounds, and you'll be up there with him. But all right, we got 2 minutes left in the game, all tied up. Who do you want a quarterback lead in your final drive to win the Super Bowl?
You gotta go with Brady.
Yikes.
I believe that he understands what's at stake, and he would do his best in order to get there.
Are you an Eagles fan?
No, I'm not. So that's why I don't care.
Gotcha. That's it. I guess it's acceptable then. Yeah. So I was gonna say you kind of saw with the Super Bowl, but all right. Our last question. Thanks again for hopping on. This is awesome for us as we're trying to grow this. But so high school, you're a pretty good basketball player as well. I haven't played against you. You're kind of the main defensive stopper for your team, being the athlete you were. So who was the best player you ever had to guard in basketball? And then on the football field, who's the best player you've ever gone against?
Probably the best basketball player I think was Xavier Malone from locked him down to 11 points. He wasn't doing anything.
That was a big upset.
The big upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
kind of made waves.
That was funny, bro. And then in football, I think that it would probably be honestly, bro, Ryan Stover was a problem.
Yeah.
On Upper
Dublin.
for double. Yeah, he was a problem that year. He was there. That team was unstoppable.
Yeah.
There is nothing that we could do.
They would just go 4 wide, and they would just chuck it the whole game, no matter what.
What, Mike Sowers, his little speedy ass.
Yeah, they had the running backs that were good too. That team was very good. But back to Xavier though. Before we wrap this up, I remember I think it was either Connor or Brendan told me that he like tweeted before the game something like, "I'm gonna get 30 tonight" or something like that. And then you guys held him to 11 points and you won. So that was cool. That was a funny story. But all right, Isaiah, that's all we got. Thanks again for hopping on. I really appreciate it. And keep an eye out for the podcast. It'll be on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, all that good stuff. And good luck this upcoming season. I appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks for having me.